morning, Benjamin.
Hello, good morning, sir. How are you?
Not too bad. Are you ready to share with us the understanding of the holding of the plasma within the matter?
Yeah, I'm ready to share with you. Daniel is around here. He even wanted to go away, but I told him no. Asked you asked me to start right away, and lo
Please,
and behold, hmm
please to
so
share the knowledge. You're achieving a beautiful dimensions in plasma technology. Let us understand.
okay. So today,
Share.
what we are going to share with you is a soap that we made, and Daniel, after doing it, Daniel was able to do the microbiology analysis in his lab, and then the results was amazing. The estimated bacteria killing time was it was within the 15 minutes range. So after 15 minutes, when you open the cultured containers, all the bacteria were gone. So he was really amazed, and he told us that this is a good product. It will sell on the market, and he wanted us to even do a further work on it. For now, we are going to share with you the hard soap, the hard one. We also have a liquid one, which is sitting on his table currently.
Can
Uh,
you can you share your screen with us? We don't see
Screen.
anything.
Okay.
The
Okay. I'm going to
camera
share.
that we can see what
Um,
you're talking about, please.
okay. I'm going to share my screen with you. Share. And then, is it coming?
Yes, we see the bottles.
Okay. So that is what we are going to share today. That's Keshe Foundation Ghana Nano Soap Microbiology Report, and we are currently at the Ghana Space Science Center. I'm here with Daniel from the Microbiology Lab, and he has been doing a lot of analysis with us. So I want to go straight into the PowerPoints that we have. Um, everybody who is watching or is listening to us probably in his lifetime have used a soap before. And so basically a soap is a substance used together with water for washing and cleaning. And it is made up from two compounds, normally natural oils or animal fats with sodium hydroxide or another strong alkali. The fats, some people call it tallow, and normally after doing this composition, they add perfume and color to it, and then they achieve, the soap. So, did you know that soap have been used for human beings at least for the last 6,000 years in one form or the other? So, I mean, it's something we cannot live without. And soap was first made by the Babylonians. And historical references point to the fact that soap making were used in the textile industry, and it is still used in the textile. And we use it to wash ourselves and then wash our clothes. And then we use it for medicine. Over here in Ghana, there are some local medicine which is soap driven. They put small in the water, and people use it as put it in a string as an anima, and then they so that they can wash the intestines. So that is something that I know for sure that people do here. But how safe, and our ancestors have been doing it, so I believe it's medicinally powerful. That's so. So this also there's a historical fact about soap. It was the ancient Europeans who started using soap, uh, and in Messrs in France, they had a lot of factories which spread finally to Italy, and then the British also seeing the boom in this business jump on the train, and then the first factory was situated in Bristol in the 12th century. After that, they established another one in Cheapside in London in the 13th century, and because they got a lot of money from that because everybody was using it, so they thought it could, serve as, taxing, for the government. So during the Napoleonic era, government inspectors even went to homes. People were doing it illegally, so they were able to get into homes and then seize pans of soap makers so that they will not be able to produce these products in the night. Okay, so that was what happened. Historical facts, some historical facts about soap. Now let's look at the modern facts. What's our trend of soap usage? It's estimated that about 10 billion pounds per year or so, is used by the is used overall, and US uses one third of it. The per capita consumption is 25 pounds per, and then Netherlands followed by Netherlands, and 20 pounds by UK, Japan 7, Brazil, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the uses are classified. Word 92 and laundry. US use about 85% for laundry and 12% for toilet, so and so on. So this is a source from the soap magazine that I quoted from. Okay. In doing this thing, I form a team, and some of them are on the way coming. Esther, Lebanon, myself, and Nash, and then Esther again, and then Nafisa to Adam. These are from the chemistry lab, so we decided to do this together here. So that's the team as you see over there. And these are the ingredients we use. We use sodium hydroxide, soda ash, coconut oil, palm kernel, glycerin, shea butter, cocoa butter, fragrance, and nanomaterial, and water. So these are the stuff that we use, and I will go into details why I even chose these materials to use in the making of the soap in the first place, because it have a lot of medicinal benefits. So first of all, to get further, I want you to understand that the skin of man is the largest organ of the human body. Uh, it is easy to be poisoned through the surface of the skin easily, because when you get, that is why when you get into a mono in an environment where there's monocarbon, you can easily, because you, it can seep into your bloodstream faster, and then you be able to lose your life faster also. So the skin does not only protect the internal organs and systems of man, it also gives visible and emotional feedback. So when you have rashes in some part of your body, it's telling you, it's like the instrumentation panel of a car. When the red signal shows or the indicator move to E, you know that your car fuel is getting empty, so you have to fill it. The same thing applies to the body. When it gives you visible signs of what is happening inside. And those who have been doing the Gans part, we have learned that this putting creating a three layer of a paper or a cotton layer, you are able to mimic these layers of the skin: epidermis, epidermis, dermis, and then the hypodermis. This is a three layer of the skin. So if somebody have pain, if you understand these things carefully, you can easily look at this structure and then bring back or restore or the health to the body, because it is basically operating based on the plasma principle of gravitational and magnetic field, the whole body of man. So as you see, also there are hair follicles, and so if hair if water sits, a little bit of water sits on the body, it can seep into the bloodstream easily, because there is an enabling valve created by nature for um, any liquid to seep into the bloodstream very quickly. So I mean, bathing even with good water or a soap which is well treated can enhance your total well-being. So that's the skin of man for you. Okay. So like I said before, we chose the materials for this production of soap very carefully, because we believe that coconut oil have a lot of properties, okay, because looking at the coconut itself, it's a plasma on it, on the way the water is inside the coconut, and the whole structure, it's like the nature of the earth itself, okay. So coconut oil consists of healthy fat called medium chain fatty acids, MCFAs. These unique fats include cryolic acid, lauric acid, and capric acid, okay. um Let me show you a little bit, or give you a pictorial evidence of the medium chain fat, okay. For instance, when you take the normal frying, you take the normal oil and then you put it on fire, and then you put a coconut oil and then you put it on another fire, and set this set the fire at the same time, you see that the coconut oil burns faster than the ordinary oil, okay. So it is easier for the body to digest, and it is also the body is able to consume coconut oil, and it is not stored at fast. And coconut oil is anti has antimicrobial and antifungal properties. Because of this property, the cell is able to use it and release its energy quickly. So coconut oil is easily processed by the liver, because when it's fatty and it cannot melt, it is difficult for the liver to process, and it end up accumulating all kinds of filth in the liver, and it created a lot of health. It is one body part that works all the time, so it needs to be freed all the time. So coconut oil is best for your body. Like I have learned, if you want to put water in your car, if you can consume the water yourself, then you can also give it to the car. But if the water is not good for you to consume, then when you also put it in the car, it will damage. The same thing applies to, if you can apply it to your body and it will suit your body well, then when it enters into your mouth also, your body can process it well. So the second ingredient we used also was cocoa butter. Cocoa butter has also anti-aging properties. That means the ladies, we are currently working on what do you call it? I have released what we are doing now. We are working on ointment also, with the Ganses, okay, so that you can use it to treat asthma and stuff like that, any skin disease. Cocoa butter can help improve the quality of hair. It is good also in maintaining the overall skin health. Cocoa butter can be used to reduce inflammation. It has a high quantity of antideoxidant, and so it is able to fight free radicals. Okay, cocoa butter also has high fatty acid, and it is able to, because of this high fatty acid, is able to enter into the skin very well. And then if it is infused with proper medicine, it can heal the body very well also. So the next one is, this one is plenty here in Africa, in the tropical zones, and this is palm tree. And out of the palm tree we get the palm kernel oil. And if you were watching CNN, or you were following what happened during the Katrina, it was one of the trees that was able to stand the storm. Most of the trees were falling, fell off, and was hit by the hurricane. But the palm tree stood, and over here, nothing from the palm tree is thrown off. Everything is useful, right from the root to the fruit. Nothing is, for me, I've used the oil. We use the whole thing for food. We use it for fuel, and so many things. Okay, so we also have seen that it's loaded with zero cholesterol. That means it's good for people with Alzheimer's, and people with diseases, like who want to reduce their cholesterol. And in that line, we can also deal with diabetes in this regard. It is loaded with antideoxidant also. It is unsaturated fat, rich in vitamin K, and zero trans fat. You know, it does not store the fat. What this means, it does not store the fat. It doesn't keep it. It releases its energy, and it contains a lot of vitamin A, and it has a long shelf life. Okay, and then it's filled with other nutrients, and it can improve your hair growth, and it provides also softness for your skin naturally. So these are inculcated, or it is part and parcel of the palm kernel. Okay, so we start with the stop making process, and that is step one. As you see, Nash with us, Nash is diluting the caustic for us, the caustic for us to dissolve in water, and that is some of the ingredients that we use, the caustic. So we uh, have this mixture being done by him, and you can see the ash bottle over there. That's what it has, and we poured a little bit uh, of the caustic in the cup so that he can mix it. And then after that, we went and then measured all the oil and then have it melted. And then we pour them into a mixing bowl, as you can see. And then added the soda ash slowly and then stir them. And then we
Benjamin,
added the,
Benjamin,
yes,
you
yes, sir.
go back 2 steps and explain the last 2 steps again, please. Go back 2 frame after the coconut and the palm. Go back.
This
Yes.
one?
Yes. Explain from this step by step, please.
Okay. So coconut oil has anti-aging properties. That means when you put it on, maybe your face is beginning to have lines, okay, in front of your face. The cells, as I showed in this the picture, the oh, the internet is awesome. Please, are you getting me? Am I losing you or hello?
Yes, yes, we can hear you and see you.
Okay, so we, as I said, when somebody's face start folding, we can use the coconut oil, and like I showed in the picture of the skin, the coconut oil, the cocoa butter, because of these qualities, it can penetrate into the foreskin of the skin, the skin, and then enter into the dermis, and increase the, what do you call it, the overall health of the skin. So it can also add to the good quality on your, what do you call it, the skin of your hair or the scalp of your head. So when you smear it, the ladies, they know it cocoa butter. I recently had a lot of students from different countries of Africa, the IEA students, and most of them, when I show them the property of the cocoa butter, most of them bought, huge, quantities from here, and then took it to their locations wherever they were coming in from. So that is another quality, because one of the guys from Rwanda told me it is very expensive in Rwanda to get the cocoa butter, but it's so cheap here, to get. So they bought a lot of them and then carry them along. So it's good for maintaining skin health. Cocoa butter can be used to reduce inflammation. That means if somebody have pain and you mixes it with the right, stuff, you can also reduce inflammation of the skin. And antioxidant, cocoa butter is high in antioxidant, which help fight off free radicals. So free radicals in the blood system, if you use it, we can use it to cook as well. So using it to cook will also end up fighting these free radicals in your body. Cocoa butter has also high fatty acid. That means it have this MCFA, medium chain fatty acid. Okay, and it can penetrate into the layer of the skin very well, and then help heal the skin. Um, okay. Uh, Mr. Keshe, should I go over this again?
No, no, go back, go down. So you just explain, go to the next page how you make the soap.
Okay, so making the stove was simple. That, as you see in the picture, that is Nash, measuring the caustic and dissolving it in the conical flask, as you see over there. And then after this, we measured all the oils and then have them melted, and then we pour them into a mixing bowl, as you can see it here, and then added the NOH, that's the sodium hydroxide, and continue stirring until a thick measure a mixture. Sorry, it is a mixture until a thick mixture is obtained, and then we added fragrance. Okay, we added fragrance.
Okay.
After this step, we then continue stirring on. We added Gans and stirred it until it was evenly mixed up in this the soap mixture. That's, as you can see over here.
What kind of Gans did you add?
So we, as you can see over here, we have CO2, we have CH3, and then we have copper oxide. So we did a lot of configuration. That I will show it in the next slide. So that is it. This part is the palm kernel oil, the one with the red fruit. That's the palm kernel oil. And then the white ones over here are the coconut oil. As you can see, if you look at the picture, you see at the lid edge of the plastic containers, you have copper oxide gas, okay, and then you have CO2 plus CH3, and then we have control and then control also. But this is just a little bit of what we have, because we did a different configuration because of what we are looking out for, which I will explain in a jiffy. We have copper oxide plus CO2, and then we have different configurations, CH3 and copper oxide, CH3 and CO2 mixed together, and then some went on their separate containers. Okay, so if you have understood the plasma, the science behind this plasma, and if you are interpreting it physically, you see that the CO2 controls the blood system or the motions, okay, and then the CH3 controls your neural system, that is the energy flow, and then the copper oxide controls the lymph system, which has to do with your physical well-being or your physicality or the physical structure. So if somebody, as I have seen, and I've seen it always and always here, when somebody have deep pain, like somebody have a pain on the hand or a swell or a sore on the hand, and then you apply the Gans, normally they are in pain immediately, but afterwards, when you apply the the 3 layers on the skin, these people suddenly go to sleep quickly. They go to sleep quickly and immediately. If Nash was around, he would confirm that when he had burns on the hand, and the doctors were drilling him here, go and come tomorrow, and I said, why don't you let me try this on your skin? And he allowed me to treat him. The following day, I think the next day after treatment, he came to me and said, Benjamin, even if I sleep, even if it's 1 hour, it is good. I feel so good about it. And after 1 week, the whole thing was gone, and fire burns, which normally leave a scar, left no trace of scar on the skin. If he was around, he would have shown it to you. Like you can see, he will show you the area where he experienced the burn. There's no physical trace of the burn, and the skin look beautiful. So that is the representation. So we were looking for energy for where we wanted to deal. If we are looking for something that will help improve your emotions, make you happy. Then we use the CH3 and then the CO2 gas. And then where we're dealing with pain and stuff like that, we mix the copper oxide gas and then the CO2 gas. And then where we wanted to increase the field of the emotions also, we use the CH3 gas, because when you are talking about CH3, you are talking of field amplification, which has to do with the CH3 gas. Okay, so that is the various nano gas compositions. So after this, you can see that this we left the soap, allowing the soap to cure. What is mean by curing is we allow the soap to sit so that the water used in preparing the soap, evaporates, because you use water, distilled water, in dissolving the sodium hydroxide. So curing means simply you allow the soap to sit for weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. During this time, the water used in the recipe evaporates. And the advantage here is that the cure soap has a firmer texture and it lasts for longer in shower. Okay, so as you can see here, this one have CO2 gas and then CO control. We selected this one so we can show it to you. The coconut oil is still, has the liquid texture after even the weeks of sitting. Okay, but this the white one, the one which appears white on the surface, is hard and very hard because it had the gans in it. And this is the palm kernel oil. They almost look the same, but when you feel it, you can see the difference also. The one with the copper oxide is also harder. Okay, so that is what you can see on the PowerPoint. At this juncture, after the 6 weeks time, we decided to package the soap and then send it to the microbiology lab for analysis. So we had a lot of zip lock bags and then labeled them with various code, which I'm revealing it to Daniel now because he didn't know what was inside. We wanted to do a blind study so that he doesn't, influence the results anyway. So we labeled it. What you see here is HS. HS means hard soap, and then the L is lab. So HSL lab. That is hard soap that was made in the lab. And as you can see, there are also some bottles here. And I don't have, because we'll be doing the next time. I will show you how the balls, the balls are, the bottles are looking. They are collapsing on themselves because the Gans energy, the energy released by the Gans is so much that it is shocking everything. You can see the bottles, um, uh, and he's here to testify of it. So as you can see, HSL5, okay, HLS3, and so on. And we gave him a large spectrum of samples that he said it was so plenty, and it couldn't match the number of petri dishes that they had in the lab. So we have to go out and then look for some more, for him to be able to analyze the stuff for us. And as you can see, these are the petri dishes that in incubation period, and I'm going to hand it over to him because this is his part. He's going to deal with the microbiology aspect of it, and then we'll see how effective the Gans behaved on the pathogens. And talking about pathogens, he will go into details about the pathogens we are dealing with. Here we are dealing with Staphylococcus aureus, and then we are dealing with E. coli, and then we are salmonella typhi, which can affect human beings. So that is what Daniel will be sharing with us in the next couple of slides so that you can, have it. Nash is also around now. Nash is around. I'm handing over to Daniel for Daniel to take over.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So good morning. I'm
Good
Daniel
morning.
Labi, microbiology lab.
Thank you very much for sharing knowledge with us.
Yes. Thank you too. Okay. So this is how the work started. We prepared a 24-hour culture of Escherichia coli, Salmonella typhimurium, and Staphylococcus aureus, which are all pathogenic organisms that we isolated from beef. Okay, so these are the organisms we use for the work. And this is how the Staphylococcus looks like on a plate. And this is actually what we isolated in the lab. It's not a picture. Yeah, so Staphylococcus aureus is a type of bacteria, and each strain it stains positive, and it's non-motile, small round shape or non-motile cocci. In that they on microscopically they are clustered. They are not in chains. There are two types. We have Streptococcus, which is in chains. Then there's Staphylococcus. That is how to differentiate them. Staphylococcus is always in a cluster form. Okay, then this is also how the E. coli looks like. It is the most prevalent infection organism in the family of gram-negative bacteria known as the Enterobacteriaceae. Enterobacteriaceae are microorganisms that are found in the intestines of animals, both human beings and animals. Then this is also Salmonella typhi, a very infectious organism. Okay, so this is how the work was done. We prepared 3 concentrations from each soap sample that was brought to the lab. 10%, 30, and then 50% were prepared by dissolving. We dissolved them in 100 ml of distilled water in a 250 ml container, and we left them overnight to dissolve completely. Okay. Okay, so after preparation, leaving them overnight to dissolve, we added 1 ml of the test organisms that we used for the test. And the test organism, we prepared an inoculum. The inoculum was prepared with the McFarland standard, which is usually of a 1.2 times 10 to the power 8. That is a lot of microorganisms. And we prepared them in McCartney bottles and prepared a serial dilution out of it, twofold dilution, because from the assurance Benjamin gave me that the soaps are very effective. So we prepared only twofold dilutions. And to my surprise, after a killing time of 15 minutes, all the organisms were eliminated as shown in the plates. You know, we have 50%, 10%, and then 30%. These are the plates that represent for Escherichia coli. All of them were eliminated. Okay. Okay. So pure colonies of Salmonella appear red. That is when, if they are like I have shown, this is Salmonella. This is how it looks like. Yeah. So pure colony of Salmonella appear red with or without a distinct black spots at the center of XLD. XLD is the media that Salmonella glows on. Xylose oxin deoxychocolate agar. Then typical colonies of Staphylococcus aureus also appear black with a clear zone around on the media. Bed packer agar, that's BP agar. Okay, so this is the results for all the soaps were 3, so we prepared 3 concentrations from each, 50%, 30%, and then 10%. But for HL HSL1. This one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. HSL1. The quantity was not up to the expectation, so we couldn't prepare 50%. What we had, I think, 33% point 86. Okay, so the colony forming unit that you see, those are the counts, the expected count from each plate. Nothing was detected there. That's why you see 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay.
Excuse me, can you go back? Can you go back? Can you go back? So what does this mean? The application after 15 minutes shows no
Yes.
E. coli, no salmonella,
No salmonella, no stuff.
doesn't matter
Yes.
which soap you used, which concentration.
Yeah, which concentration, everything went off. So with the liquid ones in the lab now, we are going to reduce the concentration to 5, 10, and 15 to see if it can still be effective. So it's to either we reduce the concentration or we reduce the concentration of the Gans that is added to the soaps to see the minimum inhibitory effect. So for this one, the minimum inhibitory effect was 10%.
And your total residual at the end is 0. You couldn't find any.
Yeah, 0. Yes, there was nothing there.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so that is the conclusion. It is very performance. No.
Can you tell us what's your conclusion?
Okay, so no, where the from the resources can be, it's very obvious. The soap is very effective. It's very effective. So as I said, with the next one, we are going to reduce the Gans to see how effective it will still be. I understand this one they added 1 mil of the Gans, so we are reducing it to 0.5 in the next analysis and see how it will go.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much. What's your conclusion? We saw the conclusion, you went back up.
Okay.
So the conclusion is that because of this performance, because of this, it has proven to be effective. And currently, we are doing another test on the soap. We have samples on the test in the lab, the liquid soap, which is undergoing a similar analysis in the microbiology lab at its place. And so, like he said, we are reducing the sample, the quantity of the Gans use, and we want to try the effectiveness. We want to carry another sample whereby people will wash their hands with the soap, and then we'll analyze it. We'll analyze this the effectiveness. And I was talking with the microbiologist from the Water Research Institute, and he said the very best place to do this are the public toilets, And so we're going to take samples of water and the soap to that place, and then they'll wash, and then we'll collect the samples, and then we'll analyze the water and see before and after. We'll allow some people to wash their hands in the clean water before washing it in the nano environment, the nano soup environment, and then we will test the effectiveness of this. So that's the next test that we want to, as part of to test the efficacy of this and the performance of the nano soap. We want to do that. And then the next projects, is for treatment of various skin ailments. That's what we want to do. Gans based coconut oil ointment and Gans based palm kernel oil and ointment. That's our next project, and which I'll be doing it with Esther. She just came in, Esther is here. She just came in, so that's what we'll be doing. And so that is it, Mr. Kesh. If you
No.
have any question,
Yes. I have a very big question. And what I would
okay.
like you to do, what I would like you to go is to go all the way back to very first 2, 3, 4 frames of this presentation, please. Go back, go back, go back all the way. Go back, 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 back. Stop, stop, stop. Um, um, go 1 frame forward, please. Go to the next
Here?
frame. Yes. And now go to the next frame where you speak how you produce soap.
Okay. So this place.
Okay. Now go to the next picture, please. Remember this. Go to the next picture. What did you do? You added.
Here.
No, go the one before which you had the NaOH on it. Before this.
Mhm.
This is important.
Before, no,
Okay.
before.
Wait. No, no, no. Where you were. Stay where you were. Just go back. Go to the
Okay.
one with the NaOH.
Mhm.
Okay. In your
This
talks,
one.
yes, you're in a perfect frame. In the teaching,
Mhm.
you showed us historically people add caustic to the fat, caustic to oil. So if you stand still with the present knowledge we have, man already has been in the Gans making system and nano making system for centuries. You add caustic to amino acid, to fat, to human fat. And now you understand. You go and get the water from the sea and you add NaOH to it to make what you call the sea gans. Man has been making protein gans for centuries. Soap is a type of natural gans with amino acid. If you understood this, now you understand we have all been GANs makers the way we've been nanomaterial makers for centuries without knowing. The reason, do you understand, Benjamin?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what it means?
Yeah. Before, okay,
So,
I'll add a contribution to it.
yes,
If
okay.
if you people have watched the movie Fight Club, when Brad Pitt was narrating to his apprentice, or the guy he wanted to recruit, he he went to where the beautician clinic, and then collected the fat of human beings. What the fat people, when they get to this clinic, their fat is sucked, and then that is what this guy used in preparing the soap, and he sells the soap to the same people who gets to the, what do you call it, the beauty clinic, to go and take the fat, and they didn't know the content of the soap. And so this guy was asking him, his apprentice was asking him, why do we use this thing? He said, to make the best soap you need tallow, that's the fat of human beings or animals. And then he went on further to say the ancient people discovered that in some part of rivers they were able to wash their things properly. Why? Because on the hills where the rivers flow, that is where the human sacrifices were made in those days. So the ashes, when it rains, the ashes are carried along and it mixes it with the wood ash, and the wood ash end up forming soap. And so that is how, those portion of the rivers, formed, and they didn't understand the principles, but they ended up, getting the soap, or getting something to wash their clothes. So I mean, this knowledge have been with us, like you just said, since time immemorial. But we human beings have refused to learn. And sometimes when you tell people about the technology, it looks so simple that they begin to doubt, what the
They're
efficacy or the effectiveness.
they, they doubt their own intelligence.
So,
So why I asked you to come to this frame is that to show, and we expand on it as you are, that in fact soap is a Gans state of protein, the fat.
mhm.
So now it should have been no surprise why, when you add another GANs to a presently a state of GANs, you
It
increase
boosted it.
exponentially to higher than the protein which was made by itself. That's why when you added CO2, when you added CuO, or when you added CH3, all work on salmonella and all the other bacteria, because the foundation of the soap you made is already amino acid based. So all you need, all you've done, you added additional energy. In a way, you created a new virus because the amino acid GANs is still there, which made the soap. Now you have made a virus which is stronger than salmonella and everything else. And now, for the first time, you understand why your soaps work, kills bacteria, because you have made a new virus, which is the energy of the CO2 added to the present GANS amino acid, which you created. And this is why it's so effective. In this new energy package which you have created, adding a GANS energy to another GANS energy is more than what is held in the body of the man as viruses. And that's why you see destruction. You can go to the minimum amount of GANs. Don't use GANs in your next test. Just use the water of the GANs. You will
Rocket
get
guns. Yeah,
the same.
that's.
You understand?
Mm.
Because now
Yes, sir.
you have added to the energy of the GANs of the amino acid, which you call soap. So this, for a lot of you, it becomes a new knowledge. Why the gas works on bacteria. This, what you show us today, I wish we could go directly to South Carolina University, to the professors in the biology lab, in micro lab, which they did the same test 2 years ago, and they came out with the same result. But the World Health Organization blocked them to come out with the technology which was given by Keshe Foundation to them to stop the E. coli and the Ebola. And they were threatened to lose their seats as professors in the university. Now, for the first time, we see, with the scientists like you in Ghana, is in what they call Atomic Agency, that you're confirming what your colleague in South Carolina University did 2 years ago and submitted at the presidential office to the World Health Authority. All the equipments were taken off of them and they were told they cannot show such a thing. Now it's in public. But we understand the way how it works. The reason your scientists in the Atomic Energy Authority Research Lab see the reduction in all the what you call bacteria or viruses is because any bacteria, any virus has a base amino acid. So with your soap, you have already created a base amino acid. By adding another energy to it with your GANs of CO2 or copper oxide or CH3 or any GANs you add to it, the power of it becomes more than the bacteria or the virus which is in the stomach, salmonella or whatever, and the transfer of the energy from one to one shows you the reduction total, because you transfer energy from the bacteria or the virus, which already have a common denominator of the amino acid of the protein. This is how it works. Understand the science behind it. not just coming up with figures, because when you understand it, you can explain it easily. Now, you see why I asked you to come to this. This is what you need to do in a space. You have a common denominator. You're in the space lab of the Ghana Atomic Energy Authority. That's where we work with. This is our base home. So when Ghana produces the first spaceships into space, the knowledge you brought from Ghana's Atomic Energy Group gives you a step forward to understand how to protect man in space. You need to have amino acid condition, power strength in MAGRAV, magnetic gravitational, which you can add slightly more to it, you guarantee life. You did not destroy the amino acid of the bacteria or the virus in your culture. All you've done is you depleted the energy of it. That's why it's left black. That's why you still see it and it doesn't air. Because the amino, if you take the residual of the culture plates which you have, which Dr. Nash and the others just explained to us, and analyze it, you will find out it's a pure amino acid. That you haven't destroyed, you depleted the energy. This is what we call space technology, understanding the transfer of energy of the plasma. And in a very simple way, with a soap, you break a fantastic new knowledge in the world of space technology. This is what your scientists in the lab have to understand and start working on. This is what you need. Do you understand? Benjamin, are you with us? Or have we lost him? Hello? Are we here?
We are back. Yeah, we are back.
You're back. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have to, as a man who understands the plasma and Gans and nanotechnology, transfer this knowledge to the scientists in the Space Institute, into Ghana Space Institute and the biology lab. Explain to them, they're sitting with you. We thank you for the knowledge you brought us, and we thank you for what you shared. In the purity of the knowledge, we just add to it. And now, it should be very easy, even if you add a small amount of, let's say 0.5% of soap, if the energy of that 0.5% is more than the bacteria which are within the sample test, they will share energy. You still will have amino acid at the end. Please test the residual which are left there, which you say they are black or they are there. Those will show in test to be a pure amino acid in nanostructure themselves. Is it possible to do that? Do you have the facilities to do that? Benjamin? They have connection issues. Pardon?
Mr. Keshe, we
You're back.
want to, we are back. We lost you for some couple of minutes, so we want to repeat your question and
Okay.
your demand.
What it is your job. Now you understand that you've been producing, human race has been producing the Gans of protein. And now you added the Gans of another material to increase its strength. In a way, you made the virus. With it, you created a safe virus, which we control, is within our structure, that it could deplete the energy of the other viruses, being E. coli, Ebola, or Salmonella. It'll be interesting if you can take those black spots, what you say there is no culture, and see if there is still the amino acid without the energy of the virus or bacteria. And this confirms the correctness of the technology, that you're depleting energy. So we can use soap, literally caustic or ash, with human protein or any kind of protein, and add a small amount of energy to it, which is safe for us to overcome any virus or disease on this planet. You can digest it. You can use the Gans of the water, use the water of the Gans of the soap and the water of the Gans of what you made as a soap, and take a spoonful of it for any kind of salmonella which a man takes. Within seconds, within minutes, you see them finishing with salmonella. So the soap, the way you made it, the way you added CO2, if you test it as a water of the Gans on a human body, you will find out salmonella will walk away in no time, in few seconds. If you have a salmonella poisoning, you have Ebola or your E. coli, or any kind of virus infection from any microbes or virus, just take the water of it. If it enters your digestion system, you can make these soaps as a water, which you made as a patches, and put it on the stomach. Put it on the digestion system. You don't need to digest it. The energy transfer, you'll find out salmonella disappears in no time. You understand? Are you there, Benjamin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand.
You understand?
I fully understand. That is why I told him that it will need the virus, the pathogens or microorganism in no time. But they were looking. He was a little bit skeptical at first, but after he said it's done, it worked as you told me, and he was happy with the results.
No, but you have to understand the process, what is happening, not the result. So you can repeat the process with the Gans of the soap and the CO2 in the patches, the way you make, and put it on. Anybody suffers from E. coli or Ebola or Salmonella or any other infection, that you can put it on their body, and the energy transfer will do the same thing without digesting it or using it. So it'll be interesting if you put this culture material and don't mix with it any of the soap. Put it in the environment of the soap, seal it, and see if the same thing happens to the bacteria. You understand? So you don't mix your culture with the soap. You put the culture with the bacteria and virus in it, in the soap, which is already CO2 or copper oxide or whatever with the soap, and see if the bacteria changes and becomes ineffective. So we don't need to eat it, we don't need to drink it, we use this energy to see the conversion. Is that possible? Or
It's possible.
yeah,
It's possible. It's possible.
just rub the soap on the culture box and see if the bacteria start disappearing, where you only left with amino acid. Make the soap and drop the culture box in it. Let it float in it without soap penetrating into the culture plate. And let us know.
Mr. Keshe, this is Ali speaking. You were talking about the diamonds, and I wanted to share something on my screen.
No, we are not going there. Stay out of the time being.
Okay, thank you.
So what is important? What is important is to transfer the energy of the Gans, not the Gans itself. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So please come back to us if the result is correct, or how much you have to increase the intensity. But don't forget, some culture plates, if it's glass or if it's plastic, will not or absorb some of the energy. This is very important. We see this when we create plasmatic fields. When you use field of plasma, depends if you use glass or plastic, different strength fields interacts. So you don't need to have the soap. You can even make the water of the soap and the water of the Gans on the top when you mix it, let the water settle. And if anybody has a salmonella or E. coli, or you can do the testing, you should see instantaneously the reduction and transfer of the microbe or virus into only protein, where the energy is transferred into the plasma of the rest of the gas which you do. You don't kill the bacteria, you don't destroy the bacteria. This is one of the things we always had a huge problem with nuclear centers. When they do the Raman spectroscopy, they don't see the energy. They see the effect of the energy and they see the material. They say this is the material, but we don't see anything different. Because gas transfers energy, because it's a plasma. So do some tests for us and come back, because it takes you 5 minutes to do this test.
Yeah.